I'm about to show you exactly how we were able to triple our webinar opt-in rate by following the rule of congruency. So from 7% to 21% in just 2 days, this is exactly how we did it. So here you can see from June 14th to June 18th, we were running the Webby ads for 4 days. We had a 6% opt-in rate, 99 registrants, and over 1,400 and 1,500 opt-in views. Then 2 days later, we made all of the changes. From the 20th to the 24th, we were running the ads, and we had a 21% opt-in rate, 4,600 registrants, and 21,000 opt-in views. So this one change that we made by following the rule of congruency allowed us to triple our opt-in rate. Not only that as well, but it also dropped our cost per result by, I don't even know the math for that. Yeah, so it dropped our opt-in rate 16 times lower than before. So here you can see this was the webinar that we were running on the 6% opt-in rate. We had 10 registrants, only with £1,600 spent at a £667 cost per result. Then, like I said, when we made all the changes, all the updates, on again the same ad spend, £1,700, we're now at a £10 cost per result with over 156 opt-ins with the same ad spend. The only thing we changed is following the rule of congruency and just doubling down on that. And so this is basically how we did it. So a lot of people will always say, oh yeah, my ads are congruent, my webbing is congruent, everything is congruent. I was saying the same thing. I also thought everything was congruent. I thought everything matched up. And obviously the results show right here that they weren't matching up. So I really had to break down and figure out, okay, what is causing people to drop off and where are they dropping off throughout the sales process for the webinar. So the entire process that you have for the webinar, obviously they first see the ad. From that ad, they click on the sales page for the opt-in page for the Webby. From the opt-in page, they get the confirmation page and the emails and SMS, all the automations, reminders leading up, and then they actually have the webinar. And then on that, if you're selling a mid-ticket, whatever it is, they have to line up to that. They have to buy that. And then if you're selling, so there's different ways to run a webinar, obviously. For this example, we could say that it's a mid-ticket upsell. So they buy a mid-ticket offer on the Webby, then it gets upsell to book in a call for the high ticket. Every single piece of that has to be congruent to what they just experienced before. Otherwise, they're going to drop off. And so basically, where I see where this offer was dropping off and where I also found other offers are dropping off is from the ad to the opt-in page. So basically here, this explains it very simple. And I'll get into detail about the testing and the different angles and everything. But for every single ad that you have, the sales page has to line up exactly to what that lead just saw. So this example, debt elimination on the ad, it's talking about, hey, here's how to eliminate your debt. On the opt-in page, literally, it needs to say how to eliminate your debt. You can't have an angle of an ad that talks about debt elimination and then they come to a sales page talking about how to retire earlier. Why? Because it's okay, I just got to this page, or I clicked on this ad because I'm dealing with debt and I need help eliminating my debt. That's why I clicked on this, because this resonated with me. But this sales page is talking about how to retire earlier. And it's, wait, I don't need help with that. I need help with debt. So they're not going to click. And so this one simple thing that, and I'll go into detail later, but so many people do not test as many angles for the sales page as they do with the ads. And because of that's what leads to such a low opt-in rate. All right, so that's a bit now on congruency. Now, as far as testing and ensuring everything is congruent, you want to ensure that your ads, you're very intentional with the ads that you're running, the angles that you're using, the messaging that you're testing as well. So for this batch, and what I always like to do as well, is I'm always testing different angles and different messaging angles to find what best resonates with the audience at any given moment. So for example, right now it's summertime. The current messaging that we've been using for one client for the past couple months is no longer working. And we were able to spot that because of the testing that we were doing. So we're always testing different messaging angles to ensure that we're always hitting whichever audience we need to of this ICP, so that we're getting consistent good opt-in rates, low cost per results, everything like that. And so here, for example, and this is what I always like to do When we're testing, we're usually testing 30 ads per webinar. Per those 30 ads, we have 5 different angles. So 6 ads per every angle. And as you can see here, this is a perfect example of the kind of angles that you want to offer. So for this offer example, it's a finance offer. So he helps with all of these things, right? And for your offer, for example, I'm sure you have one main thing that you help with an umbrella of multiple different things for that person that fits your offer, right? And so you want to ensure that you're testing all those different angles of who you help, how you help, problems you solve, to ensure that you're finding who's best fit. Because you may find, let's say that you're a trading offer, and you may find that your audience is obviously, let's say, people age in their 30s or 40s, and the angle that wins isn't necessarily, hey, here's how to quit your 9 to 5, but more so it's the angle of, hey, here's how you never have to rely on 401k, whatever it is, talking about retirement. You can see how different angles targeting the same person can resonate with them differently during different times. If it's summertime, for example, hey, here's how to ensure you can quit your 9 to 5 by the end of summer. You want to ensure that your offer is testing different messaging, essentially. And so as far as congruency, this is really just the first 2 steps when you're running ads. So the actual ad, and then the actual sales page, opt-in page, funnel, whatever it is that they're clicking on. Those are the first 2 steps. Now you obviously have to go and make sure, okay, the actual product, the actual webinar, event, mastermind, whatever it is that you're selling, it has to line up and it has to match with, like I said, everything that they saw in the step before. And so that is the best way to ensure you're always testing which angle best resonates with your audience, to ensure you're never relying on past angles that might have worked, because a past angle that worked 3 months ago, it may not work now. A past angle that worked 2 weeks ago may not work this week. And so you always need to be testing, and you always need to just make sure that your tests are congruent, not just with the ads, but with the actual sales page as well, to actually maximize your results. Because if you're just testing, like I say here, 25 random combinations, and you have an A-B split test, which is what most people do, you're not going to improve your opt-in rate. And so because of that, you're not going to lower your cost per result. So it's going to cost a lot of money to get very little leads, and you can easily fix that just by testing and following the rule of congruency. And so if you're here watching this and your opt-in rate, your conversion rate, anything is low when it comes from click to buy, book, opt-in, whatever it is, if that is low and not hitting your KPI, your benchmarks, I can guarantee it is because it's not congruent. So go through every single one of your ads that you're running, or before you run them, make sure you go through every single one, click through and go through the entire sales process for that lead, for each specific angle that you're running, and ensure that each angle is congruent and follows all the way through from beginning to end. So again, make sure the ad matches up to the sales page, matches up to the product, matches up to whatever's being presented. The sales page matches all the emails, automations, reminders. The emails, automations, reminders match the actual webinar. What's being presented on there matches the actual product being sold for the mid-ticket. And then the mid-ticket product is an upsell and it matches the high ticket as well. Every single part has to be congruent to one another. Otherwise, if it's not, whenever the congruency breaks, that's when the lead is going to drop off. So the 2 biggest lessons here, and the reason why we were able to literally triple our opt-in rate in just a matter of 2 days, is because we followed the rule of congruency and testing. It's really that simple. That's all ads is, making sure everything lines up and making sure you're testing as much as possible. People like to overcomplicate it, but it's very simple once you actually understand not just what to do, but how to actually do it. And now, knowing what to do, how to do it, and then actually doing it, those are very different things. So if this is something that you're potentially trying to run for your business, I do actually do this for you. I can do and manage all of your ads. I don't really work with everybody though, but if this is something you're interested in, you can book in a call below. We can talk. I can learn a bit more about your business, see if I think I can actually could help. If I can do all this for you, implement everything, handle all the hard work. Otherwise, you just got shown exactly how to do this for yourself. So either way, make sure you fix your ads to make sure they're congruent and you're always testing. If you guys like this video, leave a comment, leave a like, and then let me know what else you want to see. Peace.